Put your weight on it. 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 Disco Godfather is the final movie of my Rudy Ray Moore series leading up to Dolomite Is My Name starring Eddie Murphy. So I've reviewed the other ones, Dolomite, Human Tornado, P.D. Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law, ending with Disco Godfather. Disco Godfather is the most grounded of them all. At first I said Dolomite was the most grounded. Nah, this shit's the most grounded. A few things that this movie definitely got wrong was that it took itself way too seriously. It was an anti-drug movie. This is around the time that PCP hit the streets and it was becoming an epidemic. And Rudy Ray Moore's character, who goes by the name of Tucker, who is a retired cop who now runs a disco club, and he's like the baddest DJ in the land. His nephew, Bucky, played by a young Julius, what's his name? Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon, a very young Sho'nuff without the wild hair. He's a promising basketball player. He gets hooked on PCP at the club, which leads to Rudy Ray Moore's most iconic performance. I gotta show you this shit.
What the hell is going on? What's happening?
Bucky, he was smoking.
Where is Bucky? And what has he had?
Angel dust. I told him. He was smoking too much of it.
Glenda, I want you to call an ambulance, and when they get here, I want you to tell them what he has had. You understand?
Now Tucker makes it his mission to find the people responsible for putting these drugs out on the street and putting a stop to it. There's even a montage where you see Tucker, Rudy Ray Moore, and his, I guess, bodyguard. There's a montage of them running the streets and slapping people around that's using drugs or selling drugs. Hey, this movie does have some funny, ridiculous moments, man, but I guess compared to the other movies, it is the most grounded. But as serious as it tried to be, the acting is so bad, the production is just for shit. Yeah, there's times when I do laugh at it. The main villain in this movie is played by, I don't know his name, Big Red Davis. I gotta get better with these actors' names. But Big Red Davis from the Five Heartbeats is the villain in this movie. He's the guy, the kingpin of this angel dust. The movie ends with him getting hooked on PCP, the same shit that his nephew got hooked on. Okay, there was a climax where him and his kung fu bodyguards goes to the villain's lair, whoops a bunch of bad guys, and the last bad guy that he fights puts this gas mask on him, and he's forced to inhale this angel dust, and he gets high off of it, he gets hooked on it. So the same hallucinations and shit that his nephew was experiencing, now he's experiencing, and the movie goes off with him strung out, the nephew's crying, oh, uncle, I'm sorry, what have I done? It's all my fault. Matter of fact, it does no justice to me explaining to it. I just gotta show you this shit.
You're not taking me nowhere. No, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Take your hands off of me.
The violence and the language is definitely toned down to the max. This movie was PG, which I think was a bad mistake on the filmmaker's part, because Rudy Ray Moore is known for his X-rated comedy, and the rest of his movies were borderline X-rated, so I don't know why they took the route of making this a PG film, because it doesn't have half of the raunchiness, half of the vulgarity. Like, it doesn't have none of that. There's barely any swearing in here, and Rudy Ray Moore is known for his filthy mouth, and there's like maybe 5 curse words through the whole movie. And you gotta think, this came out at a bad time where disco was kind of going out and blaxploitation was losing its flavor where it was going out. So this movie came out at a time where the two trends were going out of fashion. So I'm pretty sure this movie made about maybe $20 at the box office. Watch this movie just for the first 15 minutes of the movie. I know I'm kind of shitting on this, but if you want to get a good laugh, watch this shit for the first 15 minutes, and then you can stop it after that, and trust me, you won't have missed anything. Just watch those first 15 minutes. I guarantee you, you will laugh, you will love it. It's gold, but the rest of it is like, yeah. I would probably give this maybe a D, man. A D, because there was not enough ridiculous in this where I can sit some friends down and be like, man, y'all gotta watch how crazy this movie is. Because like I said, after the first 15 minutes, you know, it just becomes a dull, serious anti-drug movie with some horrible acting and bad production. So there it is. Can't wait to see Dolomite Is My Name starring Eddie Murphy, man. I know he's going to crush it in this role. Big ups to Rudy Ray Moore, a comic legend, a film legend, because he did all these movies guerrilla style, used a lot of his own money, didn't need no studio, had a vision, and brought it to pass, man. So much respect to the OG for that. Rest in peace. A fucking legend in the game, never to be forgotten. So y'all, that's what I got, man. Disco Godfather. Damn, now I don't even want to say the grades again. So y'all, have you seen Disco Godfather? What'd you think about it? Comment freely below. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Rashad G signing out. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it.